here's an example of a question where you don't need to know the equation off by heart, and the exam will always say something like this: use an equation selected from the list of equations at the end of this paper, which is easy enough as long as you know which one to use. So look at the key information. We're trying to find elastic potential energy. We've been given a spring constant, and actually within this information there is an extension in there. So the equation you use with elastic potential energy is equal to a half times the spring constant times the extension squared. And the important thing here to realise is that if your energy is in joules, you have to have SI units for everything else, which is fine for the newtons per metre. The spring constant, that is in SI units, but the lengths have to be in meters. So in this example, 19 minus 12, the extension is 7 centimeters. So divide by 100, it's 0.07 meters. That is the important thing that people sometimes miss. So the energy is a half times 50 times 0.07 squared. Then that is 0.1225 joules. At some point in the exam board might ask you to give your answer to an appropriate number of significant figures. In this case, an appropriate number of significant figures would be 2, because all of the data in the question is to 2 significant figures. You round your answer to the worst quality data, so the least number of significant figures you've been given in the question. So in this case, if it were 2 sig figs, it would be 0.12 joules.